Hi, friends. Welcome to the It's All for Love podcast. I'm Cheryl Mazza, the healing dancer, your host. In this podcast, we talk about Michael Jackson and how he continues to inspire love in our hearts and in the world. In this episode, I am talking to Brenda Jenkyns from Canada. She is an amazing person. I had the honor of meeting her in California over a year ago on what I like to call my Michael Jackson vacation. But it was an honor to meet her, and we have become such great friends. It's just another amazing person that Michael has brought into my life. So some of the things that we talk about is Brenda mentions how Michael inspired her to start saying yes to herself and to what she wanted to do with her life, what it is that she's here to do on this earth. And that inspired her journey to becoming an author. And you will hear, I can't talk today. You will hear more about that in the podcast. Obviously, I don't want to give too much away, but there is a lot of great information in this podcast that you don't want to miss. So please go ahead and listen. But before you do, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment. Let us know how you like the episode and say hi. We love to hear from you. If you're listening on any other podcast platform, like Apple or Spotify or any of those, please subscribe there as well. And I would really love it if you left a review. And don't forget, I'm always looking for guests to be on the show. So if you would love to sit down and talk with me and tell me your story about how Michael has inspired you and continues to shine his light and love in your world, I would absolutely love to chat with you about it. So please reach out to me. You can email me at mjitsallforlove@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on social media on Instagram or Facebook on the It's All for Love podcast pages, which all of that information will be in the show notes. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast with Brenda. I hope you love it as much as I love her. Thank you for listening to the It's All for Love podcast. Well, hello and welcome to the It's All for Love podcast. I am Cheryl Mazza, the healing dancer. And today I have my lovely friend, Brenda here from Canada. And Brenda is a 66-year-old mother, grandmother, business owner. And for Michael, she writes books to share his message of love and inspiration for all of us to say yes to our hearts and be the best we can be at whatever we love to do. I love that so much. So welcome, Brenda. And thank you so much for being here with me to discuss our favorite person.
Yes, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm in a new way and have you starting this new adventure?
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to put this out there. So thank you for being a part of it. So we'll just jump right into it. And so tell me your story. When did Michael strike you in the heart?
Well, unlike most people, I didn't really know much about him when he was here. Even though I'm the same age as him, I knew he existed, but I didn't follow his music. I didn't know anything about him really. It wasn't until he was gone that of course, when someone, especially, everyone knows Michael Jackson, so that everything about him was in the news and I was learning about him just like I would for any person, just interested. But then on the day of his memorial, which was July 7th of 2009, I just was visiting my mom, and she just happened to have a Larry King Live on, and he was doing a recap of the memorial service for Michael, which was that day, which I didn't even have any idea it was. And I just saw the people there, the Staples Center full of people, and the songs that they sang, like and then I saw his little daughter talk. I didn't even know, I knew he had kids, but I didn't really know how old they were, who they were, if he had a daughter. And I realized that he was a person, like he was a person on this earth, and I just could see how much he had done And just in that instant, I realized that I had not done whatever it is that I'm here to do. Like I just realized, wow, one person can do so much and have all these people who love him and make such a difference in the world. And here I am, like, what am I doing? And at the same time, I just had this huge, like, I don't know. It was like something, I don't even know what happened. Something happened to me. My heart, I felt my heart like I'd open up or something. I don't know what the word is, but I just started bawling, and I just felt like he was my best friend that I lost, and that I must be crazy. And my mother was watching me in shock. And so, of course, I just had to start learning about him. So I just, looked up everything I could. I didn't know much about the internet. I had a laptop, but my battery was dead because I had never used it much. So I had to just get started on finding out who he was. And what I found out was he was that love that I felt in that moment when he opened my heart. So everything he did was that, and he was that love. So I knew that it came from him, and I knew that I liked it, that it was like made me feel alive, like I hadn't before. And I just also didn't know what happened. I never heard of anything like that before. I thought I was the only one in the world that happened to. So since then, I've just been following him.
Wow. That's such an amazing story. I love your story. And it's just, it really does. I know you said it, you felt like you were the only one, but it really does show the impact that him as a person and his energy just has on so many people in the world, to because that's where all of us come from, is we just find that love energy that he is all about, and then he emanates that to us, and then we emanate that into the world, by following
Yeah,
him and all that
yeah.
he did. I
It's
love
a
that.
re it's a real thing. Like I of course I know more now than I did then about what was happening, but energy, like it's and of course there were people there his whole life who loved him and in the same way and were, affected by him. I just wasn't one of them, and I'm amazed to know that it isn't too late when he's gone. I it's the same for me as it was for people that were there then, because everything he gave us is still there. I can see him, I mean, most people didn't meet him, right? So
Right.
whatever they know about him is exactly the same as what I know about him. I can see his videos, I can see his concerts, I can hear his speeches, I can read what he wrote, I can read his books, just like everyone could. So he left it all for us forever. Very cool.
Yes, yes. And what I didn't mention in the beginning is that Brenda is also an author, and all of her books are to also spread the love and the message of Michael. So I'll put that in the show notes so everybody can find your books.
Yes. Well, so in that moment when I knew I hadn't done what I was here to do, what I had wanted to do was be a writer, and I never wrote anything. And so I just decided right then I'm going to start saying yes to whatever. I'll say yes to my heart. So I took a writing course at university in the evening, and what I ended up writing was just a book about Michael's life, because that's what I had been studying for a few months. And so I just wrote a children's story about his life, because actually I have my daughter, my youngest daughter, is the same age as Prince and Paris. Her birthday's between the two of them. And so it also broke my heart to think of them not having him and him not having them. So the book is like it was for them and for his mom. I don't really know, but anyways, I want it. But then I just put it out and published it, and I didn't know anything about writing, but I was just saying yes, and saying yes just let everything unfold magically for me.
Yes. Yes.
So
I love that. Thank you. So, well, you kind of explained how Michael has inspired you throughout your life. Is there anything else that you
yeah, like his example of integrity, of always being himself, like never conforming and or changing who he is or changing what he's here for because other people want him to. or because he doesn't fit in. So to be yourself is really what his example for us to look at and see that it's possible, and also hopefully do for ourselves. So that's what, yeah, that's what inspires me, because he wanted to lift other people and not say, this is what you should do. He lifted them and said, like to me, what do you want to do? What are you here for? And he always said, do your best, do whatever it is you're going to do. If you're a chimney sweeper, then be the best chimney sweeper there is. So he wanted to inspire people to be their best. So that's kind of the message in all of my books. And I think it's a good message for adults and kids.
Yeah. No,
Right?
I agree. I love to read your books too, even though a lot of them are geared towards children. But the message, that's what it is. It's all about the message. And when we can give that message to the younger generation now, it's going to make a whole world of difference as they grow up. So
Yeah, he always, like, the children are not, he always said that, they're the hope for the future, because they haven't been ruined yet. They haven't been changed, or, like, we just have a lot. Everyone goes through so much, and we just kind of hide ourselves and protect ourselves, and the children are still open enough. So if they can stay that way, that would be the best.
right? Yeah, that's the goal. Have you had any, well, you probably have had many, just like all of us. Have you had any Michael Jackson synchronicities? So how does he continue to magically show up in your life?
Yeah, well, like the whole publishing Ever After was like very magical thing, that everything was amazing, because I was so I guess I didn't know anything, and I knew I didn't know anything, so I was just moving forward. Like, I guess that's the innocence that you have, and then once you think then you kind of think you're in control and take over. But that was always, but then always there's songs, messages in songs, like a line would be louder than the rest suddenly. That would be the answer to a question that you have, or something you're going through. But one thing that I'll just tell you one that was like my biggest thing, I think, because I forget, I don't know what year it was, but there was something going on in my life where I was thinking other people are not stepping up. They're not doing their part. They're not, I was judging other people and wanting them to be different, and getting very frustrated and anxious and angry really about it. And then I just saw on Facebook, someone posted a quote that was like exactly that. It was exactly that. Like it's from that one in the mirror. Other people didn't do their part, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's saying exactly what I'm feeling. And so I had Dancing the Dream, but I didn't really read it much. I read it, but I didn't know it very well. And so I went and looked it up and read that, his writing about that, and it was just so helpful in that immediate situation. And I was just blown away that it could happen. So I started studying Dancing the Dream a lot more, like all the time, and it always has answers for everything. And it's his philosophy written in a way that's in layers, that wherever you are, you'll be able to get something out of it. So I really love Dancing the Dream, but that was my first realization that it was more than just a book that you come up, read, and put it back on the shelf. It's
Right.
very interactive, and he can use it to connect with us. And whether it's him or whether it's the universe or your intuition or whatever it is, it's magic. And I just love it. It's got everything in there.
Yeah. It's like a window into his soul, you know,
Yeah.
like who he really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just read that like little?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So he saw, like, he found people that were doing their part. He wanted to change the world, and he found people that were doing things. So he was feeling, okay, now we're going to get somewhere if everybody does their part. But everybody didn't do their part. Some did. But were they stopping the tide? Were pain, starvation, hatred, and pollution about to be solved? Wishing wouldn't make it so. I knew that. So you have to let people be what they are, and you do your part, and let go of all that judgment. Like that's a huge lifelong lesson to try to work on, to let other people be what they are and you just be you.
Right. Yeah.
So
And accepting them for who they are,
it's enough to keep you busy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I always love, like, I've always, by, mentors and people I've met along the way, that's been like the repeating message of like, you do you, like you be you, you lead, by just being yourself. And then if other people are meant to realize that, it like shows them, so without you saying like, hey, you should do this, or let it inspires other
Yeah,
people
yeah, your
to do it.
example
Right.
is
Yeah.
what you're doing. Yeah,
Be the change.
exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Okay. So if you had to pick a favorite Michael Jackson song, what would it be?
Well, I thought about this question because I haven't ever done that before, and I never thought there was a reason for it because I don't have to. But in really thinking about what would be if I only had one song I could listen to, or one that means everything that I want it to mean, I completely surprised myself with what it is, but it's You Are My Life.
Oh, yeah. That's
Because it says
beautiful.
everything that I have to say to Michael and everything that I think he's saying to us, like,
Mhm.
and it's so personal because once I was lost and, and it was cloudy and now it's all clear, like really changed, like a complete change of how I see the world, even though my life is not all different in every possible way, but that is just what happened. And now, yes, and now I wake up with a smile on my face and I'm just looking forward to every day, and I'm just, it's an adventure that is so much fun. So I love that song, like everything is it. And oh, and the other thing is that it has Love is the Answer in it.
Mm-hmm.
The words Love is the Answer. This is my shirt. And so
Yeah.
when I was choosing my shirt, this morning, I was like, I want to wear a Michael shirt. I'm going to be, and no, it was like this one, like calling me. I'm like, I don't want to wear that. And then I just realized now that it has Love is the Answer is in the song.
See, there's
That's
another
that's the
synchronicity.
way if anyone asks me to sign a book, I always sign it, Love is the Answer. And so it's just very cool that like
Yeah.
that's a little synchronicity, to choose the right shirt. It doesn't matter, but it just makes me feel loved and makes me feel connected. And
Yes.
yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah. So,
And what, if you had to pick a favorite short film slash music video to watch, what would that be?
well, I mean, I know I love all of them, of course, again, like the songs. But the one that is precious to me is Bad, because it was the first one. Like right when he was gone, I had never seen any of his videos. So I never watched anybody's videos before, that music videos ever. So I asked my daughter to like show me one on the computer, and that was the one she picked. And I was blown away, like by the dancing, by the song, by the whole message, like the
Mhm.
whole the whole message of the whole long version. Oh my God. I was just like, who is this person who so it's always been really precious to me just because of that moment that I was like so many things that I didn't even know were possible. And then I knew there was millions of other things I didn't know that he had done.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so, it just reminds me, like, I haven't like done my story yet for an episode, but like that reminds me of like the very first time that I saw Michael. I was so young, but then like, I saw him on TV, on MTV. I think he might have been, I don't even remember if it was a music video. I think he was just performing. It was probably one of those like live concerts, that MTV used to put all the time. And I just remember staring at him. Like my mom said, you're just staring.
Yeah, I
And
like,
because it's like, you're like, who is this person? Like, who is this? Or what is it about him, that just like, you're just like, okay, you want to go down the rabbit hole and just start finding out more and more, we could do it for days.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's a great. I love that
I
video.
wish that would have happened when I was little, like I feel sad that I missed his whole life, even though I was here the whole time and I missed it all. But anyways,
And
it's,
it happens when it's supposed to, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I know.
But I'm glad that you were there. I'm glad that other people were there
Yeah. Yeah.
appreciating him.
Yeah. He comes into your life when it's right, when you most need him to be on your heart, to help you learning whatever else you need to learn in this lifetime. So that's
Yeah.
what I believe. Okay. What do you want the world to know about Michael Jackson?
Well, what I would, I think it would be that his work was so much bigger than his art. Like he was incredible dancer, singer, performer, everything. But I think that he did all of that, even he loved it and he did all of that. And it's complete as it is, but it also was a way for the world to be looking at him. And he wanted everyone to be looking at him to give them the message of love that he was sharing and the message of healing the world that he was sharing and inspire them to do their part and be what they want to be and say yes to their heart. So like I would say, anybody who doesn't know him or wants to know more, just look at him. It's all there. Like you don't have to have anyone telling you anything. You just go find it yourself. Look at him and listen and see what touches you or see what happens to you. And you look at yourself, you'll be looking at yourself at the same time. And it's the sky is the limit after that.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful thing, that whole journey. Yeah.
Yeah, what we're here for.
Exactly.
It's what we're all here for.
Right.
It's not to make money. It's not to be successful in physical ways, because when we're gone, none of that is going with us. So
Right.
the
Yeah.
difference you make and the people that you love and the people you touch. So
Agree. Yes. All right. So last question. So how does Michael continue to spread love in your world?
I've become really interested in all kinds of different things. Like I've learned so many things about everything. It's not just, concentrated on him, but he expands my world into so much more, like food, like gardening, like studying other people, amazing leaders and regular people. So he's always expanding everything. And so and the other thing personally that he's done for me is, and still does, is helping me with like traveling and having friends all over the world and doing new things, dancing, singing, crocheting, whatever comes up. I just say yes. So saying yes has made a huge difference. And it's not that it's always good. Like I've had to do really, really hard things to have integrity, to be who I am. So it's not all easy, but it's all good. It's all worth it. And it's all the right thing to be doing. So I've had to do lots of really hard things, and I don't regret anything about it because it's just being authentic, and that's what I want to be.
Yes. Yes. Great. Well, can you just tell us a little bit about where people can find you if they want to find your books or chat
Well, I
with
have a website. It's called michaeljacksoneverafter.com. It's like the whole words. And on there, it has all my books and link to buy them, but they're also on Amazon. So you could type in the title or my name. I'm not sure if it always works, but anyway, they're on Amazon. That's where you order them from. But on my website, the link goes to them. And there's a blog there, and I forget what else is there. Other things. Oh yeah, art, like things, drawings and whatever I've done. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm not an artist, but I'm not afraid to, I feel like an artist when I do art. So that's what it's about. So
Yeah.
my art on there too.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I will put your website in the show notes so that people can come find you and check it out. So
Yeah, and then I'm just Brenda Jenkyns on Facebook and And on Instagram, it's MJ Ever After 11. I don't go there much, but I want to do it more.
That's okay. We'll get you more followers then, so you can
Yeah.
have more of an audience to post there. Well, thank you so much, Brenda. It's been a pleasure as always to talk with you. I love
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you for sharing all of this beautiful energy with us.
Well, I really admire you for saying yes and doing something new, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And you
Thank you.
picked the right person for it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.